We're back. Today's video or today's episode, whatever you want to call them, is going to be like a double feature. We are going to be installing this bumper, all right? And we're going to soft install the rear diffuser on the Integra. All right, that's what we got going on. So I got it jacked up as high. Well, I got it jacked up pretty high enough to get up under there. We got to get the show plate off, get this bumper off, get this panel off. I think, yeah, we got to get this panel off because we got to reach these clips that are holding the bumper in. I don't think we have to take out the lights. Hopefully we don't. And we're probably gonna have to get up in here, get these off. Oh, look at the rotor, still looking good. Caliper still looking good. All right, so that's what we got going on. So I'm gonna get started on removing the parts and the hardware for this. We're gonna soft install the bumper first, see how it lines up, see if we got any gaps and all that blah 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 blah. Then we're gonna take that bumper back off, and then we're gonna start on the second part of this video, which is installing the rear diffuser. So it's like a double feature. So let me get started so we don't waste a lot of time. All right, so these are definitely good things to have. You know, picks and plastic pry bars for those clips so we don't have to scar the plastic and so on. And of course you got this one in case shit gets hairy. So let's get it started on that. Use these tools, get these clips off. So got the panel right here off. Got all the clips and the bolts that go with it in its place. Now it's going to be time to probably see about pushing these out, removing. I have to be careful because the air lines run through there and through here, so I don't know how far we're going to have to go with that. But I'm thinking that this panel, I definitely know that there's a bolt, and there's one over here, and I'm hoping that it just kind of clips in around here and I don't have to go to the other side of this to get there. So that's what we're going to see about next. Screws, bolts that I mentioned before are not the only ones. Back here behind this panel there are two that actually hold the inside of this in, so we're going to have to remove the bolts in there and in there to get this panel, and here to slide out. I don't see one on this side. So once we remove those bolts, this panel should slide out, and then we can access the 1, 2, 3 bolts here and 1, 2, 3 bolts on that side. It should just want to start coming out. So just work each side and be very, very careful. Pushing some bolts from the inside, the studs anyway, because they might grab onto the car, and then go back to the middle. And I missed two right here. So there are two hiding right here under these pretty much clips or zip ties. So if we take these off, try not to break them. Right there, that bolt, and another one right here. So once I get those two, then this should pretty much slide out. And yes, we're gonna have to remove the damn tail lights because these flanges flare out this way. It's been so long since I've taken this car completely apart. It's like you forget how things go together, but it comes back. But yeah, these bolts that went here have a flange that flare this way, and the tail lights are stopping them. So we're just gonna take the tail lights out. This should come out now. Yes, Wutashi. So take note, remove tail lights first. Don't even worry about unplugging the tail lights from the bulb sockets. Just unplug the main connector. Let me show you. Just unplug this connector, that connector, take the bolts out, remove the tail lights. Now we can see there's only 2 clips here, 2 clips there, or 3 clips there. So you can see not necessarily all clips are needed to hold the rear bumper in, because, you know, my painter evidently lost some of the clips and didn't put the shits back in. So I have clips in that one kit, and it'll be good if they actually do match up. If not, you know, it's no big deal. You don't need all the clips to hold the rear bumper in, but we need some of the clips. So we have some. We have good 5 out of what, 10? Looks like there were 10 clips in there. So now I'm gonna get to taking the rear bumper off here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my show plate and get this rear bumper off, and be careful because I know I do have the light up in here, so I need to be careful of any type of harness. And something else came in while doing this. I love getting packages in the middle of install. This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be an entire new video. It's gonna be a good video, so please subscribe because you wanna see this modification that is going to happen to that bumper, where we're gonna get these clips out of here, boom. Then we're gonna come to this side. We have a bolt sits right there. We don't have to worry about anything right here because we don't have any mud flaps or liner, but I know there are probably 2 more clips on this side, one right here, one right here. Then this bumper should come off. Yes, and then spiderwebs live in here because I don't drive the car enough. So, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. And the bumper is off. So now we have the bumper off. No need to remove this. Although I removed some bolts to this that didn't need to be removed. So now I know that this garnish plate only has a total of 8 bolts. These 4 right here and then 2 to the outside. This is actually the bumper support bolts. So all the bolts that go along here, I'm gonna put those back in. Bumper is completely off right there. Now it is time to go ahead and try to fit this bumper on. Now there are some slight differences between this bumper, which is a 98 2000. You have this, now there's missing this black piece. Evidently my painter also forgot to put that back in, but maybe he didn't want to put it back in because it probably didn't look good color match. But that is something that these have, these black vents to go in here. But it has this lower lip piece, whereas the 94 through 97 does not have this lower lip piece, and the side is different on the 94 97. So we'll check that out so you can see that difference right here. All right, so as you see right there, it does not have this lip piece. It stops and just curves back into the car, whereas that one does. And of course the exhaust port seems to be a little bit more deeper. This one's more shallow, and this would be, you know, this have some body work done to smooth everything out. And you also notice on this bumper I had TAG modified into the bumper. The same thing will go here. Once they do the body work, I will have TAG in this bumper as well. So let's go ahead and get this one on the car, see how it fits. Now right now I noticed that there's a gap right there. I don't know if that's something that'll kind of close up as we get the bumper tightened up on the corners, but it does seem like a little gap right here. This kind of comes in, and it also could be because my fenders have been pulled and rolled and pulled, maybe. So let's get it all the way on with a few clips in, and at least those 10mm bolts in here, to see what we're really working with, to see if that gap stays. If it does, I might do a little research and see, is there a reason for that? But in the grand scheme of things that are going to take place with this build, that really might not matter to us. I want to tell you that right now, but I can't tell you why yet, because that's going to be a bigger surprise. But that gap really might not be a big situation because of what's going to happen as this update just evolves. All right, so let's get some clips in this bumper, get the 10 bolts on, and see where we sit. On this side, I think that gap did close up. It's not as bad as it was at first when this was kind of hanging down, so I'm not mad at that. Plus the difference in color is probably making this seem more pronounced. But also, like I said, this entire area is not gonna be really impactful even if that gap is there a little bit or not, because there's something major going on here. And on this side, the gap is, to me, a little bit more pronounced back here on the trailing edge. I think that could be done here, probably with this support, could probably be raised up to close that up and modify that. So I'm really not concerned with it. It's not that bad. Plus the difference in color is probably making that look a little bit more worse than it really is, and this plate being missing. So now we're gonna go ahead and stick this plate on and see how that looks as well. And then after that, it's time to take this stuff off and then probably do the rear diffuser. And I'm thinking that the rear diffuser might be a second video, because it probably really needs its own video, but I'm gonna think about it. So let's do this first and see how that goes, and then we'll get into that. All right, there it is. We don't need to really tighten it up, but I can see right here, yeah, see, as these panels are really tightened in and things, these things start looking more like they are supposed to. And you can imagine if this was color matched, that definitely wouldn't be pronounced like that. And I'm pretty sure this rear support brace can be raised up to close that up even a little bit more. That's something the body shop would have to worry about. I'm not really concerned about it as far as a soft test fit, because everything pretty much looks in order. And now I know that I can use my garnished panel piece. I don't have to go and resource a 94, 97. This will work, and we're good here. I'm liking it. I think we're good. So to me, that is a done deal to switch out these bumpers for a reason. I know you're probably thinking, like, right now, like, why would you do that? Why would you switch these bumpers out? What's the purpose? Like, do you like the 94 versus the 97? I mean, the 94, 97 versus the 98, 2001? Or is there a bigger reason? There's a bigger reason, and it's gonna come up, trust me. So if you don't subscribe, you're gonna miss some shit, because I mean, look, we're already getting ugly. We're getting ugly. Things are getting ugly. Look at this. We are getting ugly, people. When things get this ugly, oh, clue, didn't mean to show that. When things get this ugly, there's some things happening. There are some things about to take place. When you start tearing down a car that looks like this and start making it look like that, shit's going on. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is gonna wrap this video up. Stick around for part 2. We're going to install the rear diffuser and go through that together, all right? So, you know what I say about this time? Just build it. Peace.